Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos. As you can see, I'm standing in front of these beautiful Chagall windows. They were created, needlepoint, many, many years ago by members of the Sisterhood and other members of the synagogue. It's appropriate that this is the setting for this Devar Torah because I'm going to be speaking about Joseph. This is the Joseph window. And we are concluding the Joseph story. We've been reading from this story for weeks now. It spans 14 chapters. It coincides with Hanukkah. Hope you had a good Hanukkah, which is miraculous. And so is the Joseph story, that this boy, this slave, this prisoner becomes second in command in Egypt. Anyway, the portion for this Shabbat is called Vayigash. And he approached. Actually, it's all about Judah. Here's Judah's window, approaching Joseph. But he doesn't know it's Joseph. And he pleads on behalf of his brothers, on behalf of his people, on behalf of famine throughout the world. And Joseph listens, but Joseph really wants to see his younger brother, Benjamin. And Judah says, you cannot, because he's the youngest. And he's, again, one of the most beloved, other than our brother Joseph, who is no longer. But this whole notion of approaching, Vayigash, is really one of the sub-themes of this entire episode, that all Joseph wants to do is approach, is to be near his brothers, to be united as family again. And everyone needs to change in this. Joseph needs to grow up. The brothers need to change. And at the conclusion, we have a sense that this has taken place. So finally, in a very, very dramatic way, Joseph clears everyone out of the room, and he says to his brothers, I am Joseph. I am your brother. Meaning, I am Joseph, your brother, and I'm still a Jew. And from that point on, the rest of the family comes down, 66 actually, plus Joseph, plus his wife, plus the two sons. 70 go down to Egypt. Eventually, 400 years later, 600,000 will leave Egypt. But it's really all about the names. Those who went down to Egypt, those who will come out of Egypt. How beautiful that Exodus is really called Shemot in Hebrew. It's about the names, about retaining your Jewish identity. We have a great opportunity this Friday night. We have with us Golan Ben Chorin, who is the Reform Rabbi of Rosh Pinah in Israel. And he's going to speak about identity in Israel, being a Reform Jew in Israel, and what that means, and about pluralism. And all of those issues that we're dealing with all the time. In fact, is this Golan?
Yes.
This is very appropriate. Golan. I'm doing a Devar video on the Yosef story. How are you? We're meeting for the first time.
Sure, hello.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet
Wonderful
you.
to be here.
And Golan is going to be with us, and actually at services, our 5th grade students are going to interview you and have questions for you.
30 questions so
30
far.
questions. We're reducing it to 4. No.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
hoping for the Manishtana,
Right.
but we got 30 questions, which
Yes.
is great.
But we welcome you to our community,
Thank
to our
you.
temple. We
Wonderful.
we will hear your story about the synagogue and about your wonderful work in Israel.
Yeah, in Rosh Pinah, in the north of
Yes.
Israel, we're actually pioneering Reform Judaism there. Rosh Pinah has 135 years of history, and the last 5 of them include Reform Judaism. But before that, the whole area had no Reform Judaism. It was part of Israel. That's we have to work to get the periphery of Israel also involved in Reform Judaism.
Great. And when our 10th grade students are there again at Pesach time,
Right.
they're going to visit with you and be with you.
Absolutely.
And God willing, when my group goes at the end of June, we're also going to visit with you.
Excellent. We had the 10th grade group
Yes.
from last year
Last
in
year.
Purim.
Yeah. Yes, you
And
did.
our team spent a day with them. It was wonderful to have them there.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to this year's group too.
That's great. So timing is everything, as they say. Anyway, welcome.
Thank you,
And
thank
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. The service actually begins in our rotunda at 7:15 with the lighting of Shabbat candles and also with Kiddush. And then we're going to go into the sanctuary, and Rabbi Golan Ben Chorin will be leading the whole service. It's creative, it's musical, and it's very inspirational and spiritual. Come join us this Friday night.